This is Ferdinand, an AMA online education student, welcoming you all to my first and probably not the last podcast. My podcast is about the social dilemma. When I speak of social, it basically means interacting to other people, like event gatherings, having new friends, and communicating to them. In terms of social within the scope of the technology, we're going to talk about the social media. In this movie, Social Dilemma, I can say that it was exciting and also disturbing. Why exciting? Exciting because it opens up our extra senses on what is really happening around the world as we know it. It is disturbing in the sense that the documentary uses psychological techniques to speak up or write about were used by the producers to tell their own story, and I think it is one-sided. Anyway, the story brought up the negative and the positive sides of what social media can do to us. And today, I will discuss the impact of social media in politics. In local politics, way back in 2016, study shows that Facebook had influenced most voters in the Philippines for them who to choose with based on what they saw in Facebook. Now, I don't want to be one-sided here, but as you can see, people nowadays are already smart in making decisions thanks to Facebook, Google, and other social media platforms. My observation before is that the mainstream media like the ABS-CBN or GMA7, whom they supported, had the best probability or high rate of winning the election. But this time, during the 2016 national and local elections, most of our kababayan here and abroad already have a Facebook account. They can access the internet wherever they are, and I can say that this social media access contributed so much on those who to choose from. And I can say that this social media access, in other words, the stream media cannot use alone their authority to validate and persuade someone, which is a common strategy in their marketing. Because there are a lot of options nowadays in finding relevant news and informations, and the mainstream media cannot fool the masses. On the other side of the coin, there are fake news that can hardly be validated as facts or fake. But I believe that Filipinos are smart enough to categorize which are fake and which are true by cross-referencing to other media outlets. See, social media like Facebook contributed a lot during the recent elections and also to the recent 2022 national local elections. After watching the documentary, the 5 things I've learned from it is that number 1, as a parent, we should be responsible enough in monitoring the activities of our children online. It is not good to take away their phones and not let them use them, because a cell phone, these digital technologies are tools. Like all tools, they can be used for good or evil. The challenge is eliminating evil without giving up the large benefits of the good. Number 2, don't expect Facebook or Google or other social media platforms to guard our best interests. We do not want to abandon these things because it connects us, especially in our jobs. Most company or government agencies, I should say, relies on Facebook Messenger in terms of communicating to their colleagues. Number 3, we should talk to our kids as often as possible with regards to social media and the internet as a whole. Today's generation grew up with 24/7 internet access. Let us respect and try to see on their perspective. We should talk to them in real and practical conversation. Number 4, teach our kids in social media awareness. Talk to them why you are frequently using your phone, why you are using limits to them. Explain to them that at their age, they are vulnerable at fake news, that they would think that it is true because they lack the choice or judgment of what is right and what is wrong. Finally, always remember that there is a lot of good things that has come out of digital technologies. The bottom line is, it's essential to be contemplated, be aware, be more proactive, and of course, be careful in using such technologies like the social media. One quote is really striking in the movie Social Dilemma. If you are not paying for the product, then you are the product. Social media like Facebook or Instagram are free to use, but it loads tons of advertisement and suggestions based on our interest, and I would not disagree with them with these monetization techniques, because this way they earn money for their business to grow. The problem on the other side is that our data could be sold to the highest bidder, but for now there are lots of options to stay away from this money-making technique. One example is that by carefully setting up our phone's data in iPhones, Apple introduces data privacy controls which we can set on how much data on personal information we should share to party apps or developers, including data collection on Facebook. As I have said earlier, that I do not totally agree with the film Social Dilemma because the story is one-sided. They use a manipulative approach in convincing the audience. They are using these guys that have previously worked at Facebook and Google. Of course, they are the right person to talk and discuss all these things, but the producer of the film failed to interview the current people actually working on Facebook and Google. We wanted to hear what is on their side, what would be their defense, so that we can all equate and decide what to do. They do not even explain how to convert those arguments into something proactive and positive. Once again, my name is Ferdinand, taking a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. This is my podcast about Social Dilemma.